Hi everybody, my name's David and I reside in Glasgow in Scotland, UK, and I am 62 years old, but since the age of about 17, 16, maybe even younger, I've been collecting motorcycle sales brochures. Boring to some, definitely not boring to me. And I thought I'd flick through some of my collection. I know some people are interested in it. I know some people are big collectors in Australia and the USA and here in the UK. So I'm going to go through some of my brochures. This is not all my brochures. This is just some of my favourite brochures actually. And in front of me here are two quite rare Yoshimura Suzuki GSX-R750 Tornado brochures. Very interesting brochures. Not very common, but here we go. Here's some of my brochures. Starting off with the RS250 Aprilia. A couple of less common NSR250 sales brochures. I think they're both from Japan. Another one, Repsol NSR250R SP brochure. A KR1S, KR1R Japanese sales brochure. A couple of UK versions of the KR1S. Classic two-strokes. I love my two-strokes. Always have done. The GS, it's actually the RG250E, which is actually the GT250X7 UK version. This is the Japanese brochures of the same model. Fantastic looking bike. I remember when they came out in 1979. They were the bike to beat, obviously, until the LC 250 and 350s came out. Some early RG250 brochures. There we go. A Walter Wolf version. And one of the best looking two-strokes ever. The RG250 in that beautiful white and blue colour scheme. Again, early RGV 250s now. More early RGV 250s. I think they're Japanese. That's a Japanese one as well. Japanese brochure. My favourite of the whole lot, a Japanese colour scheme version of the RGV 250. Around about 91, 1992, I think. I've got a couple of them. They're quite rare brochures, these. UK version and product information there. More RGV 250s. A Japanese RZ 350, which is our RD 350, but the Japanese called it the RZ 350, and the first RD350 brochure in the UK. Another Japanese RZ250 350 brochure. That's the 350 with the twin discs, and quite a rare colour scheme. I don't think the UK ever got that red colour scheme, but it is quite stunning. A 350 LC power valve that I owned. I used to own one of them back in the day. Got it brand new from a dealership in Hamilton, not far away from me. More RD350s. Another one. That's the naked version. I'm back onto some more two-strokes. GT380J in green. Or is it blue? Blue and white. Or is it green and white? NS400Rs. Japanese brochure. I think that's a North American brochure. Which is quite a rare brochure. The Rothmans NS400R versions from Japan. Stunning looking bike. Some RG400 brochures. That was a Japanese version of our RG500. I've got quite a lot of these actually, that's just two of them. Some early RD400 brochures. I think that's 76, that one. With the burgundy, white and black. And there's a fantastic, quite a rare brochure of the RD400 circa 1977 in yellow. I think that's a German brochure, I'm not quite sure. It's definitely not British anyway. Oh, 500SS H1 1972 Japanese brochure, quite rare. RG500s, fantastic bike. Got a couple of them. H1 500 in pea green. Nice brochure, got a couple of these. Another H1 500 brochure, but that's the red version, Japanese brochure. They call it the 500SS. Another H1 500 brochure, 500SS in Japan. Rare brochure. RZV500R. That's our RD500 with the aluminium frame. Japanese brochure. Some more RD500 brochures. That's the prototype with the gold wheels. That's our first version here in the UK in 1984, I think. Two RD500 brochures. One's a UK version, one's I think that's a New Zealand version, or the RZ500. They look identical, but they're slightly different, of course, these two brochures. Oh, some early GP Z500 brochures. Fantastic little bike. UK brochure there. I think there's some North American brochures coming up next. The one with the little bikini fairing on it. And I think that's a North American brochure of the GPZ 550 in silver. GT 550J in blue and black. Some unusual CBR 600RR brochures. Telefonica movie star colours for Japan. I've got another one there. Some unusual Japanese CBR 600RR limited editions. The special edition, as they call it. This is the Konica Minolta colour scheme. And this one is a kind of gothic style special edition. As there. Japanese CBR 600RR in the Repsol colours. My old GSX-R750, I owned one in 1981 new, and this is the 750 version for the Japanese market. Exactly the same colour scheme as the UK version. RC30 brochure, North American market I think. And the NR750, one of the most expensive bikes sold I think back in the day. It wasn't cheap. Japanese brochure fold out, I've got two of them. RC45 brochure, leaflet. Some H2 750 stuff now. First year, 72 in blue. The North American version of the brochure, TriStars. Mach 4 750. A very rare Japanese 750 SS H2 750 brochure. 750 RS, which is the Z900. Well, the UK version was a 900, Japanese version was a 750. They called it the 750 RS. Early one. Some GPZ 750 stuff now. This is the first model without the bikini fairing for the Japanese market. Japanese brochure, not very common. Some North American brochures now. GPZ 750s, or they call it Z750 GP in the brochure, but we all know them as the GPZ 750. 750 Turbo, 1984, quite an unusual, nice brochure that. ZX-R750, a later version of the ZX-R750 in the green, white and blue. GT 750J, first year, oh well, it's nice, bro, it's a nice bike that. Early. 72, I think that is the J version. Oh, there's a bit of nostalgia for some of you. A GT 750 brochure. look at the clothes, fantastic. I just love the covers of these brochures because not just nostalgic, but it's the clothing and the history of the brochures. A first year GSX-R750. Another first year GSX-R750. GSX-R750 for the Japanese market. I'll get a few of these actually. I'll just show you a few of them. I've got even more. I've got a whole bunch of these actually that I've collected over the years. This is the bike of, one of my favourite bikes. The GSX-R750RR, special edition, 1989. They go for a fortune now, these original bikes, because they're so rare. Two very rare brochures there, and I've got some more. They're just as rare. I remember collecting these brochures back in the day, and they're so hard to come by now for the GSX-R750RR. I think they called it the RK actually, the code reference. Some more for the French market brochures. Well, Japanese GSX-R750 brochure, probably about, I'm guessing 1991, something like that. There's a UK version. That's obviously 91, so that must be 1990, 89, 90 with the twin round headlamps and that specific style of fairing. GSX-R750. One of my favourite bikes, the black and gold version. That was the first year, I think, for that model. There it is again. And there's the next version in black and red. Next version in blue and white, all Japanese brochures, these three. There's a UK GSX-R750 brochure. Another favourite bike of mine, FZ750, two rare brochures for the North American market. It took me a long time to find these. What's a Japanese one actually? That's the North American one there. That's the Japanese one there. Early models. The one with a slightly bigger fairing. An OW01 classic 89 model. A very rare 916 Ducati brochure. It took me a long time to convince Ducati to send me a couple of these, but I've kept one of them, and this is the an early 916 as well. CB900 in my favourite colour scheme, CB900F, and here's some not so common Fireblade brochures. This is the first year for this Australian market. Got a few of these. Very hard to find these days in the red, white and blue, because the first brochure that UK got was this one. They did a sheet, single sheet version, and they did a brochure version of that, of the same bike. Some more Fireblade brochures. That's an Australian one. Tiger colours, single sheets, quite rare to find these days. More Fireblade brochures. I do like a Fireblade, I have to be honest. Great colour scheme that. That's the UK version of the brochure. Another Australian brochure of the Fireblade. And another Australian brochure of the Fireblade in all black. Another Australian brochure of the Fireblade. That's a UK version of the same bike, I think. Different colour, of course. Some more Fireblade brochures. And the kind of grey-black version for the Japanese market, I think. Special edition 900 Fireblade, what they call it, 954RR. An early Z1 900 brochure. Well, it's not early, I'm guessing it must be about 1974 if it's got the brown colour scheme. 74, 75. First year, GPZ 900R. Classic bike. Fantastic bike. As they called it in America, the Ninja. American brochure. a Japanese Z900 brochure RS. It's quite hard to find these brochures actually. And here's another one that's hard to find. The ZL900, the 900 Eliminator, which is a great brochure with the Porsche 911 sitting, when I've looked at a 911 SC sitting at the traffic lights. And that's me. That's the first series. I've got a lot more brochures, of course, but that's the first series of my 250 to 999cc bikes. I've got another collection of 1000cc bikes Nova. I'll maybe share that with you one day, but hope you enjoyed it.